That's why just implementing the gadgets, tools to organization doesn't work. The AI doesn't do work instead of people. It helps to develop, but you need a partner. You need a human being to explain it, to go through the details, and then it has a right influence. So, what is the result? Specialists miss stability, and they require from leaders to create them environment which is stable. But the leaders require from employees to be flexible on changes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
this is great gap between
All right.
both point of view. Middle East is a new place, very quickly developing. And if anyone treats Dubai or Abu Dhabi as a place when, it's different in Europe and slower and they are, far behind of us, it's not truth.
Yeah.
They are very advanced at the moment and they have many examples from all over the world.
Good day, everyone. We're back again here at 10xAI. I'm here with Maciej. He has a company that focuses on training using VR and AI. It's quite interesting, and I would like Maciej to introduce himself and his company and what they do and what they specialize in. Maciej, can you introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners?
My background is not the typical because at the moment I am the trainer and coach. I implement
Okay.
the technology, but
Yes.
my first university was National Film Academy. I was working as an actor for many years, and I had a pretty nice career here in Italy. And then I wanted to broaden something, and I started to study additionally psychology. Changed my life approach and everything. So I ended
Okay.
up as a trainer and business trainer and coach, and it is my new passion. But I always use the tools from this first world.
Okay. So how does that transition became, easy for you from actor and then you studied psychology and now in training? Is it a very smooth transition for you?
I think, yes, I think so. Because, at the moment I know a lot because I also specialize in it, in our style of characters. I'm certified in several approaches. And I understand that my skill, my attitude to change is very, I love change. That's why technology, that's why looking for new opportunities. I think this is something would happen in my life and it's going to happen. My business partner, he's more analytic.
Okay.
Fortunately, he always say, Maciej, stop. Let's finish our current task.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. So when it comes to your platform right now, so you have VR and AI. How do you implement that? So for example, in organization, you approach them. What is the process to be able
It is-
to use your platform?
It's not that difficult. It's not that easy, I wanted to say. It was like 7 years ago or something like that when I first had a contact with VR simulation, very advanced simulation. I could notice how it may accelerate the process of learning, which was absolutely exciting. And in the beginning, I was so open to this solution that I thought every organization will be very happy when we propose such solution. Yes, they were happy, but first step they made was to buy solutions and give them to the people. Something what is happening now with AI. So people got bored immediately after it, and nothing has happened. But my goal was to implement the technology to have a better effect in implementation of new behaviors, new solutions, and so on, so on. The trainer is a profession you have always to develop yourself. You have to always certify in something. You have to find something new just to be ready to meet people and help them. But the training is never perfect, which makes us trainer not very happy because you would love people to, change immediately, but it never happens. So first you give everything you have in you, your heart, your skills, everything to help people, but it doesn't work. So you try to find something new which may help people to feel that they are better after training. And in this moment, the technology is something what I was looking for, because it is immersive, because technology is attractive. As a former actor, I don't like when people are bored.
Yes.
Something must happening.
You have to convey emotions, that facing, and then how you talk, and then the tone, it makes the people more entertained and more engaged in what you're
Absolutely.
engaging. Yeah.
So this is must, but technology is additional help, which is absolutely, in my opinion, priceless because technology. I mean, first VR, which this is the reason that people behave during the training in the same way as in normal life. Because this is absolutely amazing how people behave when they are inside of environment of VR in Oculuses, in the glasses, and they are in a simulation because they, VR cheats their brain. They think that like in reality. So they behave in real way. But in the beginning, I thought just being in such a situation make cause the change, but it wasn't. It didn't happen. So we decided to let people to be inside of a simulation for a while. Then we discussed about anything what happened inside of this simulation. Then we just, we did analysis of statements, behaviors, and everything, and we were wondering what to do better, what to improve, and again to simulation. And in this way, we were getting the effect expected. But then we found that we can use AI because first this is observation of trainer,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
you have someone, I mean AI, who can help you absolutely in ideal way because you can have a very specific detailed report about any statements, any behaviors, any emotions which happened during the simulation. So now after the simulation people get experience, they can draw conclusions, but also they can read the report, and then we together discuss what to do better, and then we try to implement. Additionally, what, because it is developing now, it's not the end of the process because then is
Mhm,
reality, this is the communication, people in
mhm.
front of you. So we have AI avatars very specifically
Okay.
adjusted to the situation. This is very
Okay.
important because you can't have just avatars to train whatever. You have to train specific skills you need. So the avatars are programmed to this situation, and the people can in safe environment train their dialogues, their conversations, difficult situations. So I can say that we let people go to reality well prepared for the challenges. But it's not the end of the process. After a while, we meet them and
Uh-huh.
we discuss what happened, and we can repeat some part of processes. So as you can hear, there are a lot of stages of these processes, and that's why uh, um, technology is so useful because, I'm coming back to my background at the moment, which is
Yes.
my activity because 2 years ago I set up the startup in
Mhm,
United Arab of Emirates. And this environment is very specific because, you can't do anything. You can't propose anything nice to have. If they buy something from you, it must give them effect immediately.
Oh.
So immediately. So this is the challenge.
Mhm,
So in this way, the accelerating of the process is much, it gives a chance to be interesting for them. Additionally, we are used to propose the processes in Europe, which takes like 2 days.
mhm,
Nobody in UAE gives you managers for 2 days. You have 6 hours. They are surprised it's so long. They expect you change it like that. But we trainers, we know it's impossible. So we use technology. First, we meet with people on platform. We give them tests to fulfill some psychometric tests. Then they watch the film. They meet us in a platform. So we prepare them slowly to event. And this process of preparation is very personalized. So
okay.
everybody can choose what is best for the development. And then we meet for these 5 6 hours, and everything is so perfectly prepared. So then we give them the experience of simulation and all analytics of AI. And then we meet again in platform when they get AI avatars and they train. Then we discuss about it, and in the end, we summarize everything. After a while, we meet for follow up, and this is whole process. It is, what I'm explaining you. It should looks like that, but we try always to tailor it to the specific needs of the company. First important issue is the challenge of the company. Then
Mhm,
how much time we have and how HR L&D department is ready to let us to act.
Okay. So how, oh, for example, in the companies that you have worked with, what is usually the ROI metrics for them? For example, if they use your platform.
We have some, of course, we have some tests, but it's not ideal. Generally, the behaviors are so well trained with avatars, with us, with technology, that these behaviors become natural. So everybody see the results immediately. This is the real change because participants feel that it is not just a pleasure. It's, I say always, they developed and even they didn't notice that because it's connected with pleasure, which we change the style of our approach during the process. So always something is happening, but it's not a gadget. It's for training better behaviors. So
Okay.
this is, you know, it works like that.
Yeah. So for example, the avatar. How do you develop the avatar for each client? For example, do you use multi-avatar, only one avatar, or
No,
for
this is
all?
it depends on what is important in a company. Usually, we try to understand the environment and we talk to the people. We know the typical challenges, dialogues, and then we go to AI to train the avatars to prepare the reactions, typical reactions. So it takes 2-3 weeks to prepare avatars for the company. Usually,
Okay.
we have a lot of information, but it's, you know, you have to watch deeply what is happening in a company.
Okay. So the company should be able to provide you, right? To provide you all the data that that they
Yeah,
wanted.
it may happen that we have something ready because, you
Uh-huh.
know,
Okay.
the challenge is not always, you know, very specific. Sometimes they are similar in companies, so it depends. We talk to the HR and we decide what to choose the best to have the best effect.
Okay. So can you describe one company that has already used your platform, and then what is the success for them, right?
This is example of one company who wanted to implementing the feedback culture because they've noticed that managers don't give right feedback to the people.
Yes,
So
correct.
we focused on the challenge, the situations. We know we have to find this typical moment of giving feedback. So we needed some research. We talked to the managers and to the employees, and then we found what it's all about. So we worked with avatars, and then we gave them first. We prepared them in training. What specifically means feedback,
Mhm.
what we know about feedback, what researches we have at the moment about communication. Then, when they were prepared, we send them to avatars. Then we got the reports of everybody. So we meet personally with every participants. We together. We focused on some findings in it. They also worked in pairs. So one participant with second participant, they were talking about the challenges, and they, you know, this is also important, not just trainer but also coworkers.
Mhm.
And then we repeated it several times. We left them avatars for 3 weeks. We have, of course, we could see what is happening, if they train or not, and what is the result. And then we meet again, and the result was fantastic.
Okay, okay, that's good. So why? What do you think is? You already mentioned about, that the middle management is not able to communicate very well, or not giving the right feedback to the employees based on the study or the communication that you had with the employees and the managers. What do you think is the gap between that? Why is it not connecting together?
You know, this is something what is, it's, you know, I read the um, research of EY. Probably it was EY, and they've changed the situation 10 years ago and now. Uh, in companies
Mhm.
in 2015, uh, average in the world, people organization had two big changes, and we called it VUCA times. It means that we thought it was our environment changed too quickly.
Mhm.
Now in 2025, average level of changes on big, I mean, not, I mean, big changes in organization was 10. So what is the result? Specialists miss stability, and they, you know, they require from leaders to create them environment which is stable. But the leaders require from employees to be flexible on changes.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay.
this is great gap between
All right.
both point of view.
Okay.
Additionally,
Okay.
what I observe, because that's why Middle East is so interesting for the trainers, because you have a specific environment, like 40 nationalities in this region. It means different approach to leadership, different approach to being an employee. And what I also observed that, to become a leader, sometimes it's enough to be from Europe or from United States or Australia. And we met them many terrible leaders. I don't complain on average level, because it's nothing about that. But so I can say we can find a lot of leaders without reflection, that they deal with the people with different culture. And this is a huge mistake, because they say often, oh, this is, this is lot, you have the cultural diversity. They love top-down structured organizations. So
Okay.
they love orders. It's not truth, because you can't give them the orders if you think it's right, but you have to jump into history of these nations and to look at the role of leader through ages. Role of leader is, leader in these nations is a king, husband, older brother. And the role of these people was to take care of the family,
Yes.
to help them, to protect them. So think about these challenges first before you give the order. You have to be sensitive on the people around. The difference between, they say, I don't have time. If you don't have time, so you shouldn't be leader. Because the difference between leader and the person walking on the pavement is that you can find the time for developing people, for building relationship, and to let them to go from point A to point B. You have to find the time. Otherwise, you are not a leader. So don't even touch this position. So this is complicated. I find we have a mission. There are so many fantastic leaders everywhere, and they understand it, and they want to develop. But also there is still a lot to do. So as I mentioned, my passion is to develop leaders, but I can't imagine now to do it without technology, without AI. And I don't
Mhm.
gadget. This is really helpful tool.
Yes, yes. Because AI, can develop or read patterns based on the data, historical data that you have. And then once you have this current data that you are gathering and then merge that into one significant platform, they will find the gaps and the connections between those patterns. And that is why AI is, I think, is one way for every organization or even as a person to be able to connect with people and to be able to connect with the organizations or any other enterprises. So you say that the first reading of the script is always to be thrown away. How does that philosophy translate into leadership training?
Well, this is the, I would say, like agile approach. You always have to
Mhm.
try something, and you have to, have a reflection after a while and try to improve all the time something new. This is something like I understand this profession. This is a mission, because I, as an actor, I was always in the front of a public, 500,
Correct.
1,000 people, but you
Correct.
don't have a relationship with them. You just see the glasses in the darkness.
Yeah.
Now, when you are in the front of the participants of workshop, you have, alive persons. You can see everything in their eyes. They accept you or not, or you are interesting for them or not. You see everything. So you can really have to understand the needs of people. It's not about that they have to like it. It's about that they have to change the behaviors. Sometimes they can say, I'm tired of this, about this training. It is good. It's a good reflection, because developing is not a simple way.
Yes, yes, correct, correct. So when you are doing this transformation or learning and development transformation using AI and VR, so what's the most surprising reaction someone had when they are speaking to an AI avatar for the first time? For example, they have never had this experience before, and then they suddenly, yeah.
They always say it, we're still on the stage that usually they say they have never anything like that in their hands.
Mhm.
So this is always a surprise. Of course, there are some persons who had some experiences, but it's, generally most of the people have the first adventure with technology in developing processes. So my surprise was that in the beginning that they treat it like a gadget. So it's a toy. Simulation, VR simulation is a game.
Yes, yeah.
I never use even this word game. This is simulation. Even if it's gamification inside.
Yes.
Use it. It's in game. The most important is to win. In our simulation is to experience something. So sometimes when you don't have success in the end of the mission you have to fulfill, it's better result than you finish this mission. Of course, I
Mm,
like when people are happy, then they have a success. But frankly speaking, sometimes it's better that they don't have a success because this is deeper reflection.
okay.
What was wrong? And they
Mhm.
have more time to think about this connection with reality, which is always after always every part of every stage of training, we always find connections with reality. Okay, so just tell me about the situations like you here had. What is similar in your real life? Tell, and it's easy to evoke such situation.
Okay. So we already discussed about, the gap between the employees and then the middle management, the gap of the communication. So one of the things that is always coming up is the psychological safety. Do you think with AI training now, or the AI, AI avatars that you are using now, is it this more psychological safety than with directly with humans?
Yes, of course. Usually, the psychological safety is generally between the people. So this is first. But to be successful during simulation or during using avatars, you have to feel safe. And this is role of leader of the workshop at the moment. But normally, this is the role of leader to build this safety. Safety is not just, this is something what is also important, which I think about at the moment. Psychological safety is something what is very important nowadays in organizations, but it's not just for feeling safe. Psychological safety is to achieve the effects. It must be always connected with effects. What I found in organization that people say, I need to be safe psychologically, but it can't be separated on effects. If you don't try to achieve your goals, so there is no need to talk about psychological safety. It's not well-being on vacation. This is safe environment, which is strategy to have a better effect always.
Okay. So since this is an immersive experiences for most of the employees or even the managers for the training. So what do you think are the behaviors that improve fastest when we have this AI, VR immersive environments?
First, this is the reflection about what you have, psychological tests, then analyzing of your behaviors during simulation, your communication, because this is most important. Why you gave this order instead of telling about intents, for example. It's because, we usually work in implementation of the culture of accountability, which is very important, the model. We need people who are willing to decide, who want to decide, who want to be effective. I read the report of Gallup that every year we waste like 8.8 trillion of dollars because of disengagement of people. This is
Yes.
this ocean of money. We sometimes try to make little savings, but real money is engaging the people. So this is something what we have to focus. To engage people, you have to know your behaviors as a leader. You have to know how you influence people around of you. You have to know your mistakes and everything. So we do it during the simulation, and then we try to find the solutions for you, because it's not that everybody has to be the same, but you have your strengths and we have to use them later, because you will be different leader and someone will be different leader also. So but both of them will be successful leaders.
Yeah. So another thing in our organization, which I think it's not part of your product right now, is most of the human development in the age of AI. Many fear that AI will replace human or the
No,
people,
no,
right?
no, no, no.
So
I
those,
don't think so.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's something, first, implementation of AI is the change, huge change. This is something what we specialize. The first stage of change is always deny and resistance. And people are afraid of touch with, because they're afraid that they will not know how to behave with it. So they have a fear. It's very scary for them because nobody can say at the moment what is the future of AI. So this is the great mystery yet. So additionally causes the scare in our
mm,
brains. So I don't think the AI will replace us. I think AI will develop our human being nature because we will use it to accelerate some processes, but and to empower in the end our strong human characters, ability to making decision and right behaviors which can stimulate other people. This is the goal of AI. So I even don't try to imagine situation when AI will replace us.
Yeah.
The AI may replace some of our activities, and it's great. It's great.
Yeah. So, for example, in your business, what is the business model? Is it enterprise license or is it per user? How do you charge your customers or your clients?
Usually, the last 2 years during my activity in Middle East, I was present in many conferences around the world. I was looking for nice solutions. We have our own solutions, but absolutely in this quick accelerating world, you can't count on just one solution. You have to have them available around. So we have many friends, partners around the world who are producing interesting tools. So the first thing is to know what is happening and in which direction it develops. So when we meet the organization, we together with HR and L&D departments, we analyze what is the best for this organization, and then we adapt right tools. Thanks to having this research, what is
Mhm.
in the world, so we can adapt something interesting for the organization. This is the model we try to work because these tools we noticed there are a lot of them to many are adaptable to many situations. So it's very exciting to connect these two worlds.
How about the sales cycle? What is a sales cycle in your company right now from first contact until the closing of the deal? Is this also faster in Dubai? Like what you said, they wanted fast.
They want to have a fast effect, but you have to know that being in this area, you have to know that relationship is everything and trust is everything. So to be a partner, first you have to build these relationships. Sometimes it takes longer. I have one partner in Dubai, a local partner from Emirates,
Mhm.
and we had quite a good friendship for the year, for the 1.5 year we work together and we use his office and we have many activity together. And 2 months ago he first time introduced someone of his friends to me because
Uh-huh.
before he wasn't sure that maybe I'm not the right person, so he was checking me all the time, me and my friend. It shows how it takes the time. We are at the moment ready. In the beginning, we were a little bit impatient, because we expected. You live in a quick environment. You want to have everything quickly, but no, slow down. But then, when then you start to have a process. It must
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you have to build the trust first, and then
trust
after
is the most important.
after you build that trust, then
After you
everything
build the
follows.
trust, you have to show that you have something spectacular. They are very sensitive on something new. That's why implementation of AI is like a model for the world because as I read lately, the average level of implementation of AI in the world is like 28% at the moment,
Mhm.
25%, 26, something like that. In UAE is
Wow,
so they are
wow.
really several steps ahead of the rest of the world. But I think it's because of politics of government, which is very open to the new things. You can find many conferences every year. All of them are dominated by technology, specifically AI. I always say that when you participate on the conference at the moment, it's much more boring than before the year because usually you could see the attractive toys, something spectacular. Now you get all the people are sitting in front of computers, and all of them are implementing AI. You can see it. You have to talk to them to know what is the solution about. So it's, you know, a different kind of conversation with exhibitors. So there is a lot is happening in this space in Middle East, and they want to develop quickly. So they need these tools. It's not discussion about that we want to have gadgets. They want to have a quick effect. So I think this is absolutely right place to implement the technology.
Okay, so you mentioned about, it's the right place in implementing technology. So we know that the United Arab Emirates is the front runner, perhaps in the Middle East. Which other countries are still, coping up, or at least moving as fast as UAE? Is it Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Oman?
I think you know I'm very focused at the moment on UAE. We had some proposals to expand our activity on Saudi Arabia. It's still to do, but we didn't want to start too many things at the same time. So we focused on this area. It's enough work there, so it is for later. But I think I live in Poland at the moment. I think it is one of the fastest places in the world at the moment, because usually when we cooperate with some European groups of people, they are always surprised that we want to do everything so immediately, that we are so ready to change something. It is because Poland has to develop a lot during last 20 years. So we changed, we joined EU, and we started to use the tools the EU proposed. So we had to develop quickly. So we used to face the challenges, to solve the problems, and to find quick solutions. Sometimes it's too fast, but I think this is the environment I like.
Okay. Okay. So another thing is, you're developing this training for mostly of the, maybe the tail end of the organization, most of the employees. Are you also focusing on the executive level or CXO level training, especially
Yes.
when it comes to understanding AI? A lot of,
Yes.
yeah, because a lot of the people say that, most of the leaders up there, they wanted to implement AI, but they don't understand AI.
I think any change starts from the level of the board. If they don't understand what it's all about, they will never support it. To have a real uh, training who changes the reality, people has to have support of their leaders. From going to the top of the organization, it has to start from the boards. We often work with the boards.
Okay.
You work in different way with the boards than with middle level managers. This is different approach. This is something what you have to understand when you come to organization, that this is absolutely huge difference, different language, different understanding of the process. For me as a trainer, is very exciting. I have a lot of experiences with work with boards.
So going back into the interior platform, do you think avatars are better at giving feedback than managers?
It's the different feedback, because managers maybe not that focused always on every situation. So avatar will show details. But what I always say, leader is important to work with this report with the employees. So they have to understand together details, and they have to understand what to improve. It's always better. That's why just implementing the gadgets, tools to organization doesn't work. The AI doesn't do work instead of people.
Mhm.
Helps to develop, but you need a partner, you need a human being to explain it, to go through the details, and then it has a right influence.
Yeah. So and then just recently, one of my podcast guests from Saudi Arabia, she said that there's already a government led, like a learning and development AI platform for all the citizens of Saudi Arabia. Does UAE also have the same thing?
Yes, they have a lot of solutions. Even don't know all of them, but they invest huge money. We can't compare it with any other countries. This is the politics of the governments in this region. They, for years, they were observed only as countries who sell the oil, but they wanted to create industry which is independent on the oil industry. So on energy, of course, they work a lot in this industry, but they wanted to have examples of different businesses. So that's why they created the environments to start a business there. That's why they had so special politics on taxes and so on and so on and so on. That's why they organize so many conferences and they invite expats and people just to have a mixture of people from all over the world, and everybody brings something with to the UAE, and it gives the result.
And then when you are, yeah,
Of course, there are the challenges because what I've
yeah, yeah.
noticed that many people comes there just for several years and they leave. So it's not that easy to find this, Emirates. They are the key of the nation. But of course, there are some expats who decided to live there for a long time. But mostly people comes there for a while, and this is the challenge also.
Okay. And then in your avatar, for example, so I would like to ask you this now. How do you implement the privacy and data security, and then the governance of that avatar that you're developing for each of your clients?
First, I don't use my own engines for that, but I use the engines which are proposed by some developers, some companies, and the safety is one of the most important conditions when we start to work with them. So this is something which has to be checked.
Okay.
Of course, this is additionally what I have to say that in our approach, it's not important to talk about specific details of the politics of the company. We are focused on behaviors, so we can,
Yeah. Yes.
it must be something specific, but we don't need to mention about the details of the secrets of the company. Nothing like that.
So currently, what do you think it's now you are going into the training and learning development, which is AI based and avatar based right now. What do you think is what are the skills that is needed now moving forward once everything becomes AI avatar? What are the skills from now and then moving forward from 5 years or 10 years from?
I can see the most important is curiosity.
Mhm.
I specialize in change. So when we talk about change, the most important word in change is just try. Then you can discuss. Before try, there is no sense to discuss because you don't have a topic, because you think about your feelings and about your wishes. You don't talk about facts. So try, then we talk. So I would like everybody to understand this sentence. Just try first.
Mhm.
Even if you try to implement AI, try how it works. If you don't like technology, I would give you advice. Try to find one little process which is repeatable and try to implement to it artificial intelligence just for 30 days, something like that.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
check that because maybe this small step ahead will change your point of view forever. So just try. You
Mhm.
need someone in your neighborhood who will your ambassador who will help you. Don't even try to think which tool is the best for you because there are a lot of them. Take one and go for it.
Yeah, that's good.
This is my advice.
That's good. So, leaning towards your learning and development also, it's how do you help the leaders or, for example, the employees adapt when the environment keeps shifting? Because now AI it's always moving and then evolving and changing. Then
Yeah.
how do you advise them when it comes the leaders when it comes adaptability when it comes to this type of
Yes.
environment?
First, you have to understand the process of change. We have a lot of tools at the moment to help people to understand the change because you have to understand what is happening with you and with people around. When you know that, you can deal with that. And this is first. And second, usually change requires some ambassadors, some people you can give the example how to deal with the difficult situations. And these ambassadors are very important during process of change because people fail often, and it must be someone in the neighborhood who's just help to face it and to show the solution. So don't even try that change is like that it's just happening. It may happen, but you don't want to waste people during this journey. You want to let them go through the change. So you have to understand there are a lot of tools at the moment, a lot of knowledge at the moment. So don't treat, for example, AI implementation like just, we have AI, we have to use it. No, this is normal, typical change. Yesterday I had a meeting with my friend trainer. He's absolutely, denying the progress, the technology. And I forgot about it. And I told him in the beginning, I will use the subscription, the subscription.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay.
it's normal. Change is never, it doesn't happen immediately. We have different approach to change. We have to be patient and to understand this reaction. It's normal.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, right? So it's easy to for us who understood what AI is going to help us with. But the problem is maybe 99% of the people when they see change, they are very resistant, resistive when it comes to changes. And then it always tell in their brain that it's going to be more work for them or they're going to be replaced. So that's why it's also I think it's also should be part of the change management and how to convince these people how to influence them that this change will benefit them instead of being replace them.
We have to be wise in change because at the moment we have a lot of data, a lot of
Yeah.
nice, interesting materials to study and to really help people to do it quickly and without emotions which are not necessary. There are, they will have the emotions, but we have to limit them.
Yeah. When it comes to so you have a base in Europe and then you have a base in Dubai. When it comes to business dealings, what is the difference between here this part of the world and then in the Middle East?
I told you, I've mentioned already that here is everything quicker. This is, I have a roots here in Europe and I have
Mhm.
many connections. So it's easier. You always can, even if I go to Italy, to Holland, to England, to France, I
Mhm.
have always someone who can help me. And because I have a relationship in Europe, Europe is not huge. It's a small place. And when you have a experience, international experience, you have a relationship. But Middle East is a new place, very quickly developing. And if anyone treats Dubai or Abu Dhabi as a place when it's different in Europe and slower, and they are, far behind of us. It's not truth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are very advanced at the moment, and they have many examples from all over the world. So they are close to everything, and they are very sensitive to be treated like a partners. And you have to understand the style of business.
Yeah, so the other day, like you, I was talking to one of my colleagues
And an
about
additional thing, you have to understand this cultural diversity. So I strongly suggest the book Map of Culture, which is absolute about it.
okay. So the other day also I was talking to one of my colleagues regarding Dubai because she has a friend who has some husband of some, who works there. And then she was really surprised why they are very fond of Dubai. I was like, what is there? What can you see? I told her, no, Dubai is a very progressive country. Whatever you see here is not even, close to what Dubai has. They may be, in the media, they may be portrayed as, all this desert and then, safari and then this camel. But in reality, they're very progressive. And when you want luxury, luxury is Dubai. Everything is there.
Some people are sometimes, when we are in a plane flying to Dubai, two-thirds of the passengers, they are tourists. And they go there. Usually, they don't imagine the place they are going because this is, when you go to Dubai, you have a huge, huge city, and when you are on a beach, you have the high
Yes,
skyscrapers. You have
skyscrapers.
yeah, so and this is different completely. There's the connection, the big city and the beach, and this is something different.
Mhm.
And the noise, and this city never sleeps. And if you want business, but rather small business, you have to go to Dubai. But real business is in Abu Dhabi. You have to
Mhm.
understand also. You have to understand that Emirates like separate countries, so they have own governments, own different customs. They are united, but they are different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So thank you. So thank you for that. So we're going to the last part of our podcast, which I usually do. This is a rapid fire 10x questions about you personally about AI. So number one question is what's one AI tool you use actually every day?
I use Perplexity. This is application of created by cloud, but all the main engines are available, and I can use them depending on my needs. This is the first what I use. Second, I use Gamma to create a presentation, CutCap to
Mhm.
edit the films
Mhm.
quickly.
Yeah.
if I need something for LinkedIn and so on. The last thing which I use almost every day, this is the avatars and these kind of things because I have to work with it always. So I'm always almost every day in touch with the applications.
Okay. So then question number two, what one task AI has already 10x in your life?
I think when I started to be an entrepreneur and as a startupper, I need to focus on marketing, which I studied a little bit, but I didn't practice. But help of AI in any kind of research is absolutely, it's huge. It is a gift. For example, I just think how to create a strategy of our startup, and I try to know what people complain on. So you have to jump into many, places in internet. It takes hours.
I
You
know.
do it with AI in several minutes, and you have, everything what you need to work more with it.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
it requires your dialogue with AI because it's so. I think the process of researching is so interesting right now because you can quickly change the rules. You can focus on just little detail and you can develop it. This is the absolute. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. So what's one human skill AI can never replace?
I think we still need making decision, our deep, focused reaction on different people, being the partner for the people,
Mhm.
supporting from your heart someone. And what I didn't find yet in AI. I found a lot of instrument tools to make research, to collecting the datas, but still developing of the people requires second person and this
Okay.
reflection, what you really need. How can I understand your needs and how can I answer on your needs? This is something what AI is not to, you can't replace second person in process
Yeah.
of development.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Maybe I'm mistaken, but I strongly believe that we still have a lot of space for human being.
yeah, that's good. That's a good point. So if you could automate one annoying thing forever, what would it be?
Generally, most of the things it's at the moment I have a tools
Mhm.
like emails, research, preparing
Mhm.
to the meetings. I don't think I need more.
Okay, that's you're a very simple guy. No need to.
I like to live. I like to have my activities. I don't want anyone to replace me with these activities.
Okay, so what's the biggest misconception about AI right
This is that we talked about it, that it will replace us. This is the first. Second, that this is, that the AI is a trick. It's a fact that many people use it in very easy way. They just open Gemini in phone and ask how to be more visible on Facebook. Everybody gives such questions, but you don't get right answer because it requires your efforts to find your solution. It requires your efforts to discuss with AI to find your path to the solving of problems. It requires the time and efforts. Nothing is like that. If you just
now?
think that it's like that, it's not for it. It's a tool. Tool.
Yeah, yeah. So what advice would you give someone who wants to 10x himself or herself starting today?
I've already told that. Try to find your activity you don't like and something what is repeatable. For
Mhm.
example, you have to answer the emails, or you have to put the datas to the contracts. I know that there are some specific activities. Try to make a research. How can you use AI to it? And step by step, try to implement it for 30 days, for 1 month, not just one day. Do it repeatable every day and again and again and better and better. And after a while, you'll see the results. And then you'll decide if it's worth to implement AI to your life.
Okay. So what would you tell your younger self about the future?
That is amazing, that I'm jealous because I would love to have 10 years again and start everything from the beginning. So I think the world is amazing and the technology is amazing and the speed is fantastic. Of course, we used to say sometimes that this rush doesn't support relationships. It depends on you. I love the relationships also. I think if you are a good planner, you have time for everything.
What's one book or any resource that shaped your thinking about AI or innovation?
I didn't have a problem with it anywhere. If I, sometimes in the beginning I thought that AI may be very complicated and it is something what is just for IT people.
Mhm,
Then it appeared that it's so easy to use it to my first contact was in training when I was trying to solve the problems, how to better organize reports for the people after their behaviors, because I always was thinking about better effect of training. And I had a IT department on the training, and I said, well, it shouldn't be difficult. So we met then, and I started to think in the right way, how to find the help from the part of from the side of AI, and it happened very quickly. It was my great discover that it's so simple if you if you have a right person around you.
yeah. Okay, so if you had to bet one AI trend that will be massive in 3 years, what is it?
You mean about bad experiences?
No, no, I mean, what is your prediction in 3 years that will be very, very popular when it comes AI trend?
I think that all of these activities like writing emails, writing whatever, reports, editing films, editing music, everything will be do it using AI. What I am afraid, really, I'm afraid about as an actor, I'm afraid
Mhm,
that the actors will have job only in theaters because films will be directed by AI. But
mhm,
look, it's not like this that everybody will be able to make a film.
mhm,
You will have to specialize
mhm.
in so artistic use of AI to have an expected effect.
Okay.
It is, I'm sure it will be huge work even with AI. So
Yes, yes, correct.
it is not, that everybody can make it. Like now, you have the cameras, you have the microphones, do the film.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
you can do it. It's
yeah,
not expensive. Nobody
yeah,
did.
yeah. So did you make a film, a real film before? You were
Yes,
in a film? Yeah, okay. Polish
I
film
was
or Italian film?
I was in here and I have a quite good career in this profession, so I played many.
Really? Really? I
Yeah,
didn't know.
yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah.
can you give your top three favorite film of all time that
Which I
you were a star of?
Well, this is the one of them is the last film which I made 3 years ago in Italy. It is my last film because I have no time for this.
Okay.
And because I had the proposal from Italy, which is absolutely exciting for me because I can speak Italian and I had a part of my history in Italy. So this always
Uh-huh.
very it was very attractive. So I stopped my business activity for 2 months,
Uh-huh.
and it was something meaningful for me. The title is how to say
In Italian first, in Italian and then in English.
I'll give you just a second, because this is something what I observe when you are very focused on English, then you have suddenly think about in Italian, then it's a challenge. Just a second, you can find it in the internet easily. I know the Polish title. Just a second. Just a second. La Stoccata Vincente.
That is the Italian film or Polish?
Italian.
Italian.
It's a story of someone who was master in fencing, and he had some health problems and met a trainer, coach from abroad in Italy, and this coach helped him to have a gold medal, Olympic medal, and I was this coach in this film. So
Uh,
that's why this the role which was very important for
how
me.
can I watch that? I want to watch that.
And this was close to my role in life at the moment, so it's something what
Yeah,
and
it's good.
and I love the role. And my other roles which I loved was this my early stage of my career. I made several films here, which I had the main roles here in
Mhm.
Poland. I also made a film in Argentina, so I had
You have
you
a
know
very, what
it
is
was
it
a
called?
pretty nice
Colorful
time.
career, right?
It is a pretty nice time, but what I've experienced when this is great profession for very young person like this 20 something,
Yeah,
30
because
something.
you still have the stamina and the energy
Yeah,
and
and
then the
you
strength.
have better roles and more roles. And then it's not that fantastic. And I'm the person who love to be active, and I wanted to have to do something new. And I was looking for solutions, and I was invited for my friend for his training, and I loved the training.
Okay. All right.
That's why I was curious what is work about, and then I started to study, and
And now you ended up in this AI avatar learning and development platform. And that's really, really great story from actor to a coach. And then now it's a startup. Yeah. So,
so I
and
love change, and even don't try to preview what is going to happen yet.
what does X mean to you personally?
I think it's not about speed. It's not about just. I think thanks to AI, we can have 10 times more effects in developing people. We can have 10 times more, 10 times better behavior, expected behaviors. And this is, as you probably see, it's not nothing about speed. It's about deep approach. It's about details. It's about analysis, and so on and so on. So I think thanks to AI, we'll be smarter, we'll be
Yeah.
better leaders, and we'll have more courage.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that rapid 10x round. It's very nice. And very now I discovered some of your films that you starred on. I'm going to look for you. And then
Okay.
if some of our listeners or viewers wanted to connect with you and wanted to also have this experience of the AI avatar, VR AI, platform that you have, how do they reach out to you?
They can easily reach me on my profile on LinkedIn, or also profile of our startup, which is named Know It Broker. And this is the easiest way to find me.
All right.
I'm very active there, so I always available. I always respond.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. So you will have an opportunity to work with an actor and at the same time an AI enthusiast and startup founder. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for watching 10x. Remember, the future doesn't belong to AI; it belongs to people who use it.
Of course,
So
this is not about technology; it's about the people.
see you next episode.